Welcome to another episode of Dana Dares to Plan, where I am combining the skills and knowledge that I have from 9 years in project management in tech to the world of burlesque and cabaret. I am also a experienced burlesque performer. I have been doing this for 6 years and I've had the opportunity to perform across the world. I realised as time went on that I've applied quite a lot of the skills and knowledge that I do in my day job to burlesque. So I'm hoping that I can maybe help share some of that information and potentially help someone out as well. So this is a continuation of our first episode. In today's episode, what we're going to be doing is taking our outputs from our research or discovery phase and moving into our implementation phase where we actually do the thing, which is great. So obviously what we've got from our first phase is our vision board, our potentially a playlist, our budget, and a draft of the design of our costume. Part of what we need to do first is to refine some of this. So I love a mind map, as I'm sure we've all worked out by now. So I like to create a mind map of what is all of the things that I need to do now and break it down. So I need to refine my costume and work out what I need. I need to choreograph, I need to think about feedback, I need to pick the music because I currently only have a playlist. I need to think about hair, makeup, lighting, all those kind of different things. Now you can see on the mind map that I have, it's really expanded, and that's because the process that I'm at with this particular costume is much further down the line than that sort of initial implementation. So the thing about this mind map for me is that it's a living, breathing document. You can update it as you go along and you can add things to it. So that costume, when it was originally there, did not have every single piece of the costume. It had costume, refine the draft, and contact who I wanted to actually make it. I went past that. I now have agreed that first draft and we're now on the stage where we're actually making the costume. So that's why that looks a bit different. However, the mind map's not really the most useful part of this. What is useful is approaching this in what we call a Kanban method of delivery. So I'm going to show you another tool that I use, which is Trello. Again, it's free. Again, you don't have to use it. You can literally put post-it notes on your wall and move them along. If you're someone who loves a dopamine hit by achieving things or ticking things off a list, you will love this. The satisfaction of moving something from to do to in progress to done. So essentially what a Kanban board is you have a list of all of the tasks that you need to do. You have various columns that things move through, so you would have an in progress column and you have a done column in this case. You can add more. In project management, there's various different phases that a piece of work has to go through before it hits done. But for this, I have simplified it because it works easier for me. And you can see in the to-do column, I have listed out everything that I need to do, down to the minutiae. I need to choose rhinestones. I need to get my costume at this point. I need to order shoes. I need to rhinestone my shoes. I need to rhinestone my robe. I have written every single task down that I think that I need to do in order to get this act completed. And that's what the purpose of the mind map is. It helps me think of these things and then I put them into this. When I am working on them, I move them into the in progress pile. So at the moment, I am choosing music and I'm also rhinestoning the gloves because I already had the gloves. They were not being made for me. And in the done, you can see what I've already done. And actually, some of what's in the done is from the research stage because I use this in the research stage as well. But I liked it again because I can see, right, I've done that. And I'm not going in my head, oh, have I done that? Have I sent that email? Have I spoke to that person? I can easily see that I have completed it. And you can go even into more minutiae detail than what is on here. You can literally have email so-and-so, right, cool, I've done that. And again, this is for an act, but if you're thinking about a tour or a production, have you contacted venues? Have you contacted producers? What do you need to do? Do you need to book flights? Are you going to a festival? What do you need to do for that? This is just a really easy way to break down all of your tasks, be able to see what's in progress and be able to see what's in done. Again, I like to use the tech because of what I said around Miro previously. You can edit it really simply. It's not like a list. I can change the order of this list really easily. So I like things to be in what I consider a rational order of doing things. If I write it down, if I get 3/4 of the way down the list and then realise I've missed something further up, I have to write it in and then I have to rewrite the list. And I spend more time writing the list than doing the list. So using the tech allows me to be able to edit that and move it. Something else that Kanban allows you to do as well, and I know that a lot of us are really guilty of, is we do too much at once. Kanban allows us to see what our work in progress is, and what I mean by that is what is sitting in progress. Do you have 6 tasks in progress? Do you need to have 6 tasks in progress? Can you put something back in the to-do because you actually haven't done anything with it for 3 weeks? Yes, you can do things at the same time. This style of project management is not about one thing has to be done before you can start the next. So for instance, when I actually get the bra and pants from the costume designer, they will both move into being rhinestoned because I will have rhinestoned them. I will have chosen my rhinestones by that point, which I actually really need to do this week. You can do as much as you want at once, but if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's worth looking at, what am I doing all at once? Am I doing too much? And again, we can look at time boxing things. I saw someone on my Instagram just the other week was talking about literally setting alarms for working on each piece of their costume while they were rhinestoning it because they get bored working on one thing, so they need to work to the next. If you need to time box things like that, this is also a fantastic way. You can open these little cards and you can write things in them. You can say, I'm going to spend X amount of time this day and that day, especially in progress if you want to plan in a bit even more minutiae detail than what this gives you. You can go on and add that information. What I love about this is you can visualize everything you need to do. You're taking it out of your brain and you're putting it in somewhere else, so you don't have to retain that information. You now have the brain power to do all the other things that you need to do in a day, and you're not having to hold on, what have I done, what have I not done, what do I need to hyper focus on. And again, you can edit this, you can add to this, you can delete things whenever you want. It is a living document. And it's so much fun when you can pop something into done, especially if it's a big thing. You're like, yes, I have done it. The hardest part of this is breaking everything down. You will feel overwhelmed. You will look at a blank page and you will probably panic. It's why I like using the mind map as a first step. And your first step could literally even be look at what your outputs were and what do you need to now do with them. What do you need to do to refine them from your research stage? So you've got a playlist, cool. The first thing you need to do is pick a track. There's a task. You've got a draft of your costume, cool. You probably need to get to a final draft. And then from there you need to be like, right, I've picked my materials. Do I need to source my materials if I'm creating things on my own? That's a task. It's about really breaking things down. Some people are natural at this. I'm not. It's taken a long time for me to train myself to do this, but I don't miss things anymore. I have previously forgotten to do stuff. I have thought that I've done everything and then realised that I haven't because I was trying to retain all that information in my brain, and my brain was just looking at it as one big clump. I know everyone's brain works differently. I've spoken to other people who they think of things in much more minutiae detail. So for me, when I'm going on holiday and I want to pack, I'm just like, I pack. That's the whole task. Whereas for them, it's already broken down into all of the minutiae little tasks. So this can just help you manage that. And it can feel like a lot when you write it out, but you can get through it really quickly, and it's up to you how big or how small you want each of these tasks to be. But hopefully what this will help you do is to plan how you're actually going to get there in the end. My hope is that this planning technique will help you to feel less overwhelmed, will help you to free up some brain space. There's so much information being fired at us every day of the week. We have so much context switching. If we can use the tools that are out there in order to help us manage that, then we should. And I know that it means in the end there is going to be amazing costumes, amazing tours, performances, productions that come out of the world, because you've taken the opportunity to plan it before you actually went ahead and did it. So thank you so much. I hope this was helpful. Please comment below if you use this, if you find it helpful at all. If you have any questions or problems, please pop them below. or send me a message. That's absolutely fine. Next week we're going to be talking about feedback loops and how we use them in every part of every process. I hope to see you there. Bye.